So in case y'all haven't heard or have been living under a soundproof rock, it has just come out that Harvey Weinstein, the former owner, CEO of the Harvey Weinstein Company, or the Weinstein Company as they call it, has been sentenced to 23 years in prison on his sex crimes in which he was found guilty of. Mind you, he was found guilty on the two lesser charges of the ones that would have gotten him sent to jail for life. Now, when it comes to Harvey Weinstein, a piece of me is enjoying this, but another part of me is side-eyeing this at the same time, because I already know that him and his attorneys are going to appeal the hell out of this sentencing until they get it down way less than 23 years. Because in case y'all haven't heard, Harvey Weinstein, I posted a link to this article in the previous video I did about him, and I pinned it to the top of the comments so anyone could see it. He and his attorneys have now said that he cannot do even 5 years in jail, or can't do anything past 5 years in jail, or he's going to die in there. Listen, Bill Cosby was railroaded by lamestream media for years on hearsay, and he got sentenced to 10 years, and this man actually has physical ailments that can be proven even though they try to say that they are not real, and he's managing to make it out, and he has 10 years. See, the thing is, Harvey Weinstein realizes that his winning streak has run out. The day that he found out that the trial was going to continue happening, that's when he began to lose. This was before he was found guilty. This was before the sentencing. It was when he found out that the trial was still happening, and that there would be no judge, or this particular judge was not going to be lenient with him, or this judge was not going to be easily swayed by his name, or this judge was not going to open up his bank account and allow Harvey Weinstein to dump loads of cash in it, to turn a blind eye and say, I can't take up this case. That day, he met his match, and that was all she wrote. He tried it with the Walker thing. That didn't help. We all knew he was faking, and we all knew he was acting. All the extracurricular stuff, even after he was found guilty, no one was fazed by it. At this point, I think people just wanted this chapter to be closed once and for all. But the thing is, he still has pending charges in California. So let him be found guilty of that. He might as well get a life sentence, no matter what they throw at him. 23 years is a long time. But like I said, I have a feeling that his attorneys and his lawyers are going to appeal this to try to get it lowered. I think, like I said, the biggest shock is the fact that he got 23 years and Bill Cosby got 10. See, Harvey Weinstein doesn't know what to do with himself. And it's crazy because this is a guy who at one point was one of Hollywood's beloved figures. Like, a lot of people wanted to work with Harvey Weinstein at one point before we found out about who he really truly was, or is, I should say, at this point. Like, if you wanted a chance to get an Oscar, have the Weinstein Company have their logo attached to your name of your project, and there was a good chance you probably would win. In case y'all didn't know, Fruitvale Station, the story about Oscar Grant starring Michael B. Jordan, directed by Ryan Coogler, was one of those movies, because they were trying to push that for it to be an Oscar contender for so long, so hard, but unfortunately it didn't work. But it did have the Harvey Weinstein contribution to it, even though it was an indie film. And a few others as well. Just go on the Weinstein Company and look down the list of movies that company was attached to, and I guarantee that you've probably seen at least 5 of the movies attached to his then company. But I don't feel bad for Harvey Weinstein whatsoever, because of not just this situation here, but based on things that I've heard about him outside of the whole Me Too crap. I remember when Dame Dash had said something about Harvey Weinstein years ago, not years ago, but something that happened involving Harvey Weinstein and him and somebody else years ago, like back in the early 2000s. And that's when I kind of looked at him side-eyed then, even outside of Me Too. I know the Me Too havers are probably proud right now and singing their praises, but really I don't care how they feel about it, to be quite honest, because they still some scandalous skanks as far as I'm concerned. Many of them are. Because when you had black women that was coming out and saying things against Harvey Weinstein, like making accusations about how he was, none of them Me Too heifers backed them up, such as Lupita Nyong'o and I think it was somebody else, and theirs just kind of fell by the wayside, because apparently that could not happen to a black woman. Only to a palm-colored female could she be the helpless little dainty, tilted, wilted flower. But as far as Harvey Weinstein goes, hey, it is what it is. But like I said, I have a feeling his attorneys are going to appeal this. I'm almost certain of it that they are going to do so. But hey, if that's on them, that is what they're going to do. But he can now stop his little theatrics. Maybe he can now just start walking upright and all of this, because this little act that he has going on with the walker and saying that he has the concussion and he's probably going to die and all of this type of stuff, no one is moved by it. I wasn't moved by it in the beginning. I'm not moved by it now. Many people aren't. It is what it is. Bill Cosby couldn't do that. Even though he had the ailments, he could have. But it's like, for what? He's just going to, take his lumps, unfortunately, and deal with it. But like I said, it really all boils down to the fact that Harvey Weinstein has really never taken an L before in his life. At least in his career. He's always managed to slip through the cracks. But this time, he got stuck in a crack that he tried to slip through. So, it is what it is. I guess the next time we mention Harvey Weinstein is when he and his attorneys probably do that appeal, because I know it's coming, or whenever he does some kind of theatrical performance, because I know that's probably coming, or whenever they start the whole proceedings with California, because I definitely know that's coming. Unless something happens and that gets dropped, as far as they know, they feel like they finally got him. But that's really all I have to say right here as this particular Petty Pendergrass video concludes itself. I know this was a more serious one. I didn't even mean for it to be serious, but when I really think about all the stuff that, is just like a culmination of things, I had to be a little bit serious with it. But I hope y'all enjoyed it anyway, because I said, like, when this sentencing comes, this was going to determine if I was going to do this type of video or not. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.